Hey, everybody. Welcome to Technorama. This is the podcast that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek. We are in the pre-show, as you cannot tell from the banner below. We'll get started in just a moment. We'd go through a final tech check, make sure everything's running, that we're not, well, I am not speaking louder than the microphone can accept, because we don't want a distorted thing for you.
No, we're professionals.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a week or two.
By the way, Chuck, it's called a comb.
That's what it was. We were trying to figure out what that thing on the top of the rooster's head was called.
Which, if you think about it, it makes sense. Comb.
Comb over.
Not comb over.
if it's an old rooster, it has a comb over.
I know. We were just talking outside with our neighbors, and the topic of ticks came up, and I said, "Well, as I've gotten older, it's been easier to spot them on my head,
on your head.
Yeah,
you gotta check all over."
Yeah, they can get all over.
Those little teeny tiny microscopic ones.
Yeah, well, it's not so much me. I wear hats and stuff, and I don't really get them as much as, but you got to watch out for the dogs. They walk through
this
some
show.
crap.
The topic is ticks.
Yeah,
sorry, it's a joke from our other show.
Yeah, that's right. So my dogs, they walk through some slightly tall grass, and of course, there they are.
Sometimes the dogs can go places you can't.
Did you have ticks in Wisconsin?
No, I didn't go out in the woods too much, so it wasn't usually a problem. The worst place I got them was when we went to Honduras in 1980 in the jungles of Roatan Island.
Really? They have them there?
They said, duct tape the cuffs of your pants, like wear tall socks.
Oh,
duct
so
tape the cuffs of your pants so they can't get on you. If they're on you, they're just on the clothes. Wear long sleeves. But I still found them like one in my armpit and a few in my.
That's like you're describing banding a tree.
Yeah, pretty much. Or wrapping a sausage for Christmas.
No.
How do you wrap
duct tape on?
Yes. Don't you wrap with duct tape?
No.
It's good for everything.
I guess so.
On this show, the topic is duct tape.
Yeah.
Happy Sunday.
Yeah, same to you. Oh.
We have a comment in there.
I was on the banner.
Elevator has guide rail 3666.
Well, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. This is a nerd show. We're going to be talking nerdy stuff. So if you want to hang out with us and talk about space,
hey, I didn't sign up for that.
Other stuff, this is the right place. If you didn't sign up for that, you're in the wrong class. Then, we'll give you
20 years. I've been in the wrong class.
We'll give you a W for withdrawal from this class.
Right.
The good thing is there's no test at the end.
Good.
All you have to do is remember that guy's name and my name. And the show name, and then you can use it in casual conversation. Just slip it right in there.
Yeah.
So, nice weather we've been having, I heard on Technorama.
Yeah, actually, that's been nice here. I'll say that.
Been very nice here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, shall we begin with the regular show?
Yeah. I'm just
take down that banner. We're ready to roll.
I know. I'm just setting up my split view on Chrome. Are you a podcaster?
Yeah.
Well, the jury's still out.
After 21 years.
Yeah.
We're still thinking about it. We might start a podcast someday. Why don't we start one like right now? How's this? I'll count down from 5 and we'll begin.
Right. Actually, hey, by the way, there is a setting, and I wish I'd. Oh, here it is, at the bottom of the chat.
Yes.
Is it at the bottom of the chat? Open a new window. You can open the chats in a new window.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I need.
That's
there. Now I can go to the banner thing.
Hey, keep an eye on it next to your side-by-side browser thing.
Yeah. So now I'm good.
Ta-da! All right, let's go ahead. I'll count down from 5, 4, 3, 2. Technorama. Are we a podcaster yet?
First, no.
All right. I think I need to sit out for this one. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. That was a problem. I counted down from 5. It messed me up. 3, 2, 1. Technorama episode 805. Podcasting without a net, but with a signed release. I got a note from my mom says I don't have to do this show.
Yeah. My
Welcome
wife
to
signed off on it.
Welcome to Technorama. This is the show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and a whole bunch of other geeky things. So if you are joining us for the first time, you're in the right place. If you're returning, welcome back. We appreciate you giving us your time. My name, if you haven't met me yet, is Chuck Tomasi, and that guy right over there, if you haven't
Hello.
met him yet, is Craig Stepp. How are you, Craig?
I'm doing great. Weather was awesome. Got a few things done today around the house.
Yes. I was kind of laid up this weekend, not feeling real well. Something, I don't know what was going on. Donna said, "Hey, let's go work on cleaning out the cabinets in the garage because we've got 12 years worth of stuff in there." It's a
Mhm.
great idea because she's been going through like a white tornado cleaning out the rest of the stuff. Old pictures and stuff on the shelves and then finally came around to my territory.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, "Okay, I'll help." But the paint cans on the bottom shelf, I'm bending down and I
Uh-oh.
stood back up and I thought I was gonna pass out, Craig. I don't
Really?
know what was going on. It very bizarre, and my eyes are starting to hurt over the last few days. Like, if I look up or down or right or left, to the extremes, it just aches like a sinus headache or something. So, I've been taking it easy, preparing, getting rested up for tonight's show. I don't wanna pass out halfway through.
I think it's time to put you down.
Yeah.
Put
Yeah,
you out in
yeah,
the pasture.
Right, keep an eye on this. If it still doesn't clear up in the next day or 2,
Mhm.
I'll make an appointment to see the doctor, either televisit or in person and go, "What is up?" I suspect it may be one of a couple of things, but, one is a little more extreme than the other, and I don't wanna let my mind wander there yet.
No, don't start making up things.
No, that's what is it called? Psychosomatic? You'll manifest your own destiny at that point?
Right.
Okay, I think I'm going to win $1,000,000.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna win $1,000,000. Okay, that's enough of that nonsense. Let's get on with the rest of the nonsense.
All right.
We have feedback. We have a comment or a question of the week from last week that we need to go over.
Letters, oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day. Mailman, mailman, mail today. Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters, I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy!
Mailman, mail today.
We gave you a question of the week last week, and the question was, if you were a mad scientist, okay, not
Are
this is-
you?
this is if you were a mad, who's saying if? I
Yeah.
am. What two animals would you combine to create the least threatening but most annoying monster? We'll go to Facebook first, and then we'll come and get the pictures off of Discord.
All right.
So our Facebook group says chinchilla and hedgehog, double the cuteness, super fast and pointy. Lone guy's night.
Hey, our friend Clinton Alvord said a rooster and a bat. That fracking thing never sleeps.
Oh, in the neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
You know, we used to say when roosters would do that, we go, chicken noodle soup. We're going to turn it into chicken noodle soup.
Right.
John Cratcher says a chihuahua and a panda, a chai pan,
Of chop.
or a panda wawa. Loud and annoying, but cute and lovable.
Right.
Michael Robinson says probably a cat and a dragonfly. It can still meow, yowl, and knock stuff over, but now it can fly around and claw up things that it couldn't reach before. Don't want them even to imagine it in ways that the poop vomit experience will evolve.
I'm not sure how that would work. Cat's much larger than a dragonfly.
Prehistoric dragonflies had wingspans of like 6 feet,
Yeah.
like
not
2
today.
meters.
Yeah.
Those were huge.
The meteor took care of that. An amber.
Asteroid.
Amber.
That's true. He also says spider cats might
Spider-
bring you gifts that suddenly start running around for a while. Definitely have to remove poison glands. Yeah.
What?
Or next time it wants to remain snuggled on your lap, you might be your last.
I can imagine it bringing us a bunch of gifts like large flies, like large.
Wrapped in silk.
Yeah.
You go, meow.
Nah.
Okay, let's go over to the Discord server, which you can join if you wish, chuckchat.com/Discord. And we got one from Sweet Steve. These demanded, I said, extra points if you included pictures.
No.
So let's get that on the prompt. There we go. This is
Sad chicken.
Blabagalis. Tomasi stepi is the scientific name.
What is it again? Say it again.
Blabagalis tomasi stepi. Stepii. That's a scientific name.
Yeah.
It's totally harmless, though extremely loud. Species first documented by the famed travelers Chuck Tomasi and Craig Stepp. Oh, we named it after ourselves. I get it.
Right.
Despite its unsettling appearance and ear-splitting vocalizations, the creature poses no threat to humans or other animals. Its most notable behavior occurs during mating season, when large groups gather and emit a sound famously described as thousands of dying rubber chickens screaming in unison.
Hey, it looks like a Sphinx version of Grumpy Cat.
Rubber chicken. All right, let's go on to the next one from Mad Marv. I'm crossing 3 screens to do this. Here, what you advance the slide? Can you advance the slide?
Yes, I can. Hold on.
Okay. Advance slide. This is behold the Klingon tribble. I love how it even has like writing underneath that tries to look like Klingon.
It was
It's got a little mini bat left next to it.
almost like it says something curdy.
It's got the Klingon forehead ridges. It looks like a
Take the batleth away from the Klingon tribble.
nice kitty.
Yeah.
All
All
right,
right,
that's
ready for the next one?
Let's go to the next one. Clippy the office goat. It looks like you're writing a letter. It's eating it at the same time.
Oh, this is your homework.
Those two are from Mad Marv. Thank you very much.
That's pretty good.
And then finally, we have one from Humanoid, aka Sylvain. He says, a philorodent. It's a cat and a mouse hybrid to keep chasing its own tail all the time of day and night, resting only to eat and poop anywhere it happens to be at the time. Unfortunately, it finds your bed very comfortable, and it's your favorite. It's its favorite playground. I will get that.
Yeah. I can
These
tell
are
you.
cute and cuddly and annoying.
Yeah. I can tell you my cats and my dog, one of my dogs thinks my side of the bed is more comfortable than anything else. Oh, we lost Chuck. I guess he'll be back in a second. So anyway, those were pretty good. Thank you for everybody for popping those in. That was fun. I like those pictures. Those are great.
Yeah, we'll see if we can do more with it, visuals later. For the people watching, it's a little more fun when you can read along or view along.
You along? That's right.
Sing along with the bouncing ball, that kind of thing. All right, that wraps it up. We don't have any voicemail. Let's check. Nope, no voicemail.
No voicemail.
No email either. So we'll continue on.
Oh.
However, if you do want to get in touch with us, you can call us on the listener line +1 707-530-2428. Or if you're in the US, just leave off the +1. It's 707-530-2428. Or you can email us, technorama@chuckchat.com. Thank you. Now let's go on to the history. On this day in history for April 29th, 2026, it's the 119th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. There are 246, if I do the math correctly, counting on my fingers and toes. Yep, 246 days remaining in 2026.
Wow.
I had a lot of fingers and toes. It's called
I know.
polydactyly.
You should see a doctor about that.
It was on this date in 1770 that James Cook arrived in Australia at Botany Bay. We have to get out of here.
I thought you were going to finish the sentence, which he named. On April 29th, 1826, the galaxy Centaurus A, or NGC 5128, was discovered by James Dunlop.
Also on this date in 1953, the first U.S. experimental 3D television. 1953, 3D television in
Wow.
1953. How many times have we tried this experiment?
Couple
First broadcast showed an episode of. Wait, I have to do it. Space Patrol. Okay. On Los Angeles ABC affiliate KECA TV.
I think the first thing I saw 3D on TV was they sold glasses at the local convenience stores for Creature of the Black Lagoon.
This is the problem. They broadcast it, but nobody had the glasses.
Yeah, I did. I watched it on TV. It was cool.
Go ahead.
That same date in 1985, Space Shuttle Challenger was launched as TS-51B.
B?
Okay.
It's one of those Cards Against Humanity answers. B?
Yes. I've never seen one with a designation with a B.
Ah, that's because I tried it the day before. Eh?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Happy birthday goes out in the state to Scottish English physician and polymath. Is that like more than a monomath?
Polymath. Yeah.
John Arbuthnot, born in the state in 1667.
And French mathematician, physicist, and engineer Henri Poincaré was born 172 years ago today.
You're getting better at your French. William Randolph Hearst, the American publisher and politician, founded the Hearst Corporation. He was born 163 years ago today.
And Forrest Ray Moulton, American astronomer academic, was born on the same date in 1872. I don't know why.
Another astronomer, Harold Urey, the American chemist and astronomer, Nobel Prize laureate, was born 133 years ago today.
And born April 29th, 1915, German-American physicist and academic Henry H. Barshall.
Soviet pilot and cosmonaut instructor, not just a cosmonaut, he was the instructor.
Yeah.
I teach you people how to fly. Dmitry Zykin was born on this date in 1932.
And also turning 72 today is American comedian, actor, and producer Jerry Seinfeld.
It's a show about nothing.
Yeah, he's about nothing. Wait, no.
Also born on that same date in 1955, American actress Kate Mulgrew.
Yes. And American actress Michelle Pfeiffer, born on this date in 1958.
Also turning 68 today is American actress Eve Plum, again,
Yeah.
from the Brady Bunch.
That's right.
68.
Wow.
Some of these people seem like they should be in their 80s or something, but they're not.
No,
Not that much older than we are.
no, not really.
Listener birthdays this week include April 29th. We have 3 of them. Shepherd Tom from Outside the Known Universe. Wow, that's very Dr. Whovian.
He dropped in to put his name on the calendar and left.
Timothy Care. I'm going to work on that one. And also Dhruv Gupta. Julio Diaz, longtime listener and friend of the show, is on the 30th. On the 3rd, we have KL Wright. I was just thinking about her. I saw a video that reminded me of her.
Yeah.
KL Wright from Hawaii. Last time I checked, she was in Hawaii. Let us know if you're still
Wait a minute.
listening.
We're thinking about her right now.
And Leon, our annual Dragon Con visitation.
Yeah, that's right.
Postage card.
Yeah.
And finally, on the 5th, Joe Michkowski from On the Podcast. So happy birthday to all of you. If you want to be on the birthday calendar, here's what you do. If you're watching, you look at the bottom of the screen.
Mhm.
Click.
Oh, yeah.
Every week it's this. See what I have to work with, people?
Oh, birthday calendar.
I'm not sure what's up with the music skipping, but we're just going to go with it today.
Yeah. The record's got a bad mark
Got
on
the
it.
hiccups. It's been drinking. You can go to the birthday calendar at chuckchat.com/birthday. Put your name on there. We'll give you a shout out at the appropriate time of year. And if it happens to be your birthday this year, whether you've been drinking or not, we wish you a happy birthday. Have a wonderful birthday, and we'll give you another one next year. And make a new birthday resolution. Go put your name on the birthday calendar. We'll
Yeah.
get you next time around.
It's right
All
there.
right. That's it, band. You've been drinking enough. Let's try a different sound effect. With the news, we've got some space news today, so we need something spacey. Where's the one with the reverb? I can't remember.
Good news, crybaby.
That wasn't it, but it's close enough. All right. In this article, we have news of NASA's Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, which at first I thought it was Nancy Grace, the news lady. She had a
Yeah.
telescope. No, not that. Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, which doesn't spell anything cool like JWST doesn't spell anything either. But
Hey, by the way, it's when I first saw this, I thought NASA's Revolutionary Romulan Telescope.
no, not Romulan. I can see Romulus from here.
Yeah, right.
Well, Nancy Grace's Romulan Space Telescope. Now you got me doing it. NASA's Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope is fully assembled and scheduled for a September 2026 launch, which is a full 8 months ahead of schedule. I hope they didn't have to make reservations on the launch pad and now I have to ask to bump somebody.
Right.
Though it's a 2.4 meter mirror, it matches the same size as the Hubble's telescope. Its wide field vision can capture 200 times more sky in a single image. It's designed to survey the cosmos 1,000 times faster than Hubble, collecting as much data in 1 year as Hubble has done in 36. This speed machine, as it's quoted, will investigate dark energy, dark matter, dark chocolate, I think, and exoplanets.
Yeah.
Potentially discovering 100,000 new worlds and providing unprecedented insights into the structure of our universe. As the short video said, we're going to test our theories. This is going to tell us if we're wrong. If we're wrong, we're going to rework our theories and with the information it gives us, which is optimistic.
That would be science, wouldn't it?
When you start out a video that says, it's going to tell us if we're wrong.
Yeah.
How about confirm if you're right?
I'll say they just describe science, right?
They just
The
describe,
scientific process.
they just describe my cooking recipe process. We also have another article from, actually, this news is about 10 years old, maybe 11. A 15-year-old built a $12 electric generator to power remote ...
What? Oh,
It got cut off when I pasted it.
oh, that's the ad.
This article highlights the work of Hannah Herbst, a young inventor who, at age 15, back in 2015, developed a low-cost, eco-friendly device to generate electricity from ocean currents. She got her inspiration from a pen pal in Ethiopia who lacked reliable electricity. So if it's from Ethiopia doesn't have any ocean. How's that going to work? For just $12 using recycled material and a 3D printed propeller, she put this propeller underwater and then the power transfers up a shaft and turns a generator.
Okay.
It said in the article early on, I didn't capture it here in the synopsis, but early on it said she's continuing doing work today with, was it water desalinization or something? She's doing other work that she made like 25 grand off of this project at 15 years old.
That's amazing.
She won the 2015 3M Young Scientist Challenge for this project, receiving $25,000 US. True to her mission of global accessibility, she has since advocated for making the project open source so that anyone can use her data and materials list to build their own generator.
That's great.
I love seeing the next generation come up and do some cool things because
Yeah.
goodness knows I've run out of good ideas.
Yeah. You're done.
I paid.
Actually, what threw me off was the it says published April 23rd at the top, and then later on when I went back to read it for the show
Yeah.
notes, and I was like, 2015. It's like, and I had to go back up to the top of the article. I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
I'll go back and listen, see if we had any podcasts in 2015 that repeated this. Our longtime listeners will let us know.
Go search for her name.
You already did that one.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, I believe we had 3 news stories. Yes, we did. A nuclear first. TerraPower officially starts construction on their next gen natrium plant in
Interesting.
Wyoming.
Yeah.
Interesting place.
Yeah.
So it says this article from GeekWire, published April 23rd of this year, reports that TerraPower, the advanced nuclear venture co-founded by Bill Gates, has officially begun construction on its flagship natrium plant in Kemmerer, Wyoming. I haven't been there. I've been to a lot of places in Wyoming, but that's not one of them. This marks the first time a company in the U.S. has broken ground on a utility scale, quote, next generation nuclear facility. The plant features a 345 megawatt sodium cooled fast reactor. Sodium cooled. Interesting.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing, and this has been a while now. Bill Gates was working on with other people a design for a safer, um, like a next generation nuclear power plant, and they were all close um, to break ground, and it was in another country.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our always wise U.S. government put the kibosh on it because it was in another country. So, and maybe COVID had played a part in that, I think, because of the timing and everything. So, maybe this is what this is, but now relocated to here.
Well, it says they got a unanimous approval from the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, which is
Wow.
good.
That is good.
Project is expected to employ roughly 1,600 workers during peak construction and 250 full-time staff once finished. TerraPower plans to use this site as a commercial blueprint. The company has already reached a deal with Meta to build up to 8 similar reactors to power data centers, with the first units targeting 2032. The project is supported by roughly $2 billion in private investing, including from Gates and NVIDIA, and another $2 billion from
Yeah.
the federal grant from the Department of Energy. Woohoo!
You know what's interesting is something you mentioned in that article, and what you just said was the data centers. And I have heard so much from people recently, like just not directly, but
Yep.
talking about how they're wanting to protest new data centers, which I was like, I'm surprised you know what a data center is, but
But
the
some
thing
people
is,
just protest anything.
I understand that they use a lot of energy and
Yes.
blah, 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 blah. So, and AI is part of that, the big expansion in data centers.
Yep.
And it's interesting they start seeing people protesting those, because they do employ people. I don't, but
I was just watching a video today that was talking about Intel/AMD on the x86 versus ARM architecture, and how ARM has traditionally been like it's the one you put in your phone. It's low power and the battery
Yeah.
will last longer. And
oh,
Intel
it's
is
like the
more
standard
for
now.
servers and cloud. And they said, but the two are merging because you're getting more performance out of ARM, yet Intel and AMD are getting reduced power in their processors. They even cited, I think it was Amazon is starting to use a lot of ARM processors because they have very capable CPU now.
Yeah, they
That
really
use a
changed it.
portion of theirs. And if you can cut the electricity costs even by a small fraction of a percent, you save, millions and billions of dollars.
Mhm.
The more you can save, the more profit you'll make, because you're not going to charge your customers less, of course.
Yeah.
But the irony of this whole video is it's AI generated.
Oh, yeah. But ARM, hey, I'll be honest with you, ARM's kind of become a standard, and Intel's taken a backseat, I think, for a while. At least in the last 5 years or so. I mean, look, Apple's on ARM.
Yep.
So
Yep.
not just Apple, but it's others. It's pretty amazing the turnover, because that for a long time Intel was the game, and then AMD and everybody else started coming up. Now ARM was more of a game, so I'd be interested to see a mix between the two.
Yeah, it's not
There's a lot
one or
of
the
patents in
other.
there. There's a lot of patents in there to climb over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not one or the other, but it's what is your requirement and which best fits that requirement.
hmm
So
Sure.
that's the way I look at it. All right. That is it for the news. We are on to hacks and strange stories. And this is one of those times where we have more of a strange story than a hack.
yeah.
So the scientists have finally solved the mystery of the golden orb found in Alaskan oceans.
Although the picture doesn't look much of an orb.
No, it looks like a flattened basketball or something. It
It looks
just,
like they opened an oyster and took this, macerated it to get the pearl out.
back in 2023 in the Gulf of Alaska, scientists found what they called a golden orb at about 10,800 feet deep, which would be around 3,000 meters ish.
Mhm.
After more than 2 years of genetic and morphological analysis, researchers from NOAA and Smithsonian confirmed it is a biological relic of a giant deep sea anemone, aka Relicanthus daphnaeae.
Yeah.
Scientists love their vowels.
Yes, they do.
So it's not they originally thought maybe it's an egg or some new species, or it's rather a cuticle, a tough protective layer of dead cells that forms at the base of anemone to anchor it to rocks. You're all familiar with the anemones, the
Yeah.
soft little squishy things in the ocean that have lots of tentacles. Yeah, well, they got to stick to the rock somehow. So this is what's at the base. Scientists found the orb was packed with spirocysts, which are specialized stinging cells.
Wonderful.
I thought those were nematocysts, but that could be jellyfish.
How'd they discover it there? Ow! Oh.
DNA sequencing later matched it almost perfectly to Relicanthus daphnaeae, with an elusive creature with tentacles that can reach 6 feet long. You wouldn't know that from the picture.
No kidding.
Well, the orb was found alone. Scientists believe the anemone either died or moved away. I'm leaving home, Mom. Leaving its golden footprint behind on the seafloor. The discovery highlights the importance of deep sea collection, and the object's identity likely would have remained a mystery without the physical specimen for lab analysis. Well, yeah, that'd be tough. Here's a picture. What do you think it is? A football?
It did look kind of weird. The
Yeah.
gold colored, and it is actually, you know what? It is kind of large. Look at the guy's hands for,
Yeah,
for
that's just the base.
scale. Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
We have science news all the time.
So-
Finally, in the Remember When segment, if I can remember how to say it,
Yeah.
colossal octopuses once stalked Asian oceans. And I kind of went, wait a minute, they're soft tissued animals. How do you get the fossils? So a real life kraken once stalked our oceans. New research published in the Journal of Science reveals that giant octopuses lived during the late Cretaceous period, reaching the lengths of up to 60 feet or nearly 20 meters. Longer than a school bus, if you need it in
Wow.
units of buses.
Wow.
Buses are a new unit of measure for us.
Yeah.
Using a technique called digital fossil mining, scientists identified massive octopus beaks, because octopus have that little beak under there, as do squids, for catching their prey. That's what got fossilized, and they can extrapolate the length of this thing based on kind of like sharks. When you find Carcharodon, big sharky teeth, jaws.
Hey, you're just making up names now.
No, I'm not. That's the name of the big.
I know. I wasn't challenging, man. I was just making a joke.
Anyway, where was I? There were the apex predators that crush shells and bones. Remarkably, the fossil showed signs of handedness, suggesting these ancient giants already possess the advanced intelligence we see in octopuses today. It's majestic. It's a majestic new look at the monsters of our deep past. They were saying that they can't really crush their prey, so they catch it with their arms and they rip it apart, and then they stuff it into their beaks and chomp on it there.
Oh,
But they're saying one of the sides was often worn more than the other. It's like, okay, so it prefers to chew on its left.
it was left-handed.
How do you have a left hand when you have 8 arms?
I know. That's the point. I was hoping you'd pick up on that.
Which one's my left, Mom?
Yeah,
The one
that
that makes
one.
an L.
that one. Yeah.
The one that makes an L when you hold it up.
Pick tentacle 3. That's the left one.
All right. For a moment, forgive us while we thank the people that make this show possible. These are the patrons who have gone over to chuckchat.com/Patreon. And for as little as $1 a show, there are other tiers as well. But the ensigns gave $1, the lieutenants gave $2, and the commanders gave $5. And thank you very much. Oh, I should take a moment and pause just a second here. We are going to be not doing much content for the next month. We're taking a little break because Craig has a conference to attend to, and it's very tough to get a show in when he comes back, like on Friday, and all beleaguered out. And then when he gets back, we may get one in May, but I will be taking a trip in the latter half of May, so it's going to be kind of scarce. So we really, really appreciate this. Our Patreon is still currently on the pay per episode plan, so you guys won't see much of a bill in the beginning of June, which is really nice for you, but kind of sucks for us.
Yeah. Right.
Back to work. Where were we?
I got to start selling off some of that stuff behind your head on the wall.
I've got some microphones I need to sell too. Can I just unpause? No?
No, start over.
All right, we'll start over. I thought I could just pause and unpause. Hang on, I got to play with these buttons.
That's too easy.
Yeah, you can. Okay, yeah, no, I got it figured out. I had this figured out a while ago. Okay, at the commander level, we have Abner Braverman, Mark Hilfoyle, Steve London, Chris Martinez, Gary Lindros, Jason Pollard, and Sarah Rose. Thank you to those wonderful 7 people. And these wonderful 8 people, Kyle Nishioka, Ben Vaughn, John Noble, John Clifford, Denise Inglis, Steve Cody, Tim Cook, and Steve Webb at the lieutenant level. And then we get down to our ensigns, where we have, what's 4 by 4 by 1? That's 17 more people. Alexis Duran, Amber Elstad, Amy Bowen, Brad Miller, Brian Brown, Chris MC, Dandy Mancoyer, Dean Jensen, Yorka Schrauen, Crazy Joe, Mike Wills, Leon M. Would that be enigmatic M? Saturday Morning Media, Steve Weshy, Steve Therian, and Sylvain Racico. Thank you very much to all of you for your support for the show. We appreciate it. Again, chuckchat.com/Patreon. And you can not only get your name shouted out every time we do an episode, but you also get an extra episode, which we talk about, secret topics. And we teach you the handshake and the, specific way you're supposed to.
We wash all of our patrons' cars.
Tip your hat. And what? I didn't agree to that.
Oh, I thought that was in the contract.
I think that's at the admiral level.
Oh, yeah. We wash your yacht.
The oligarch level. Say, I got an idea now.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Okay, let's get on to this part of the show. That music means it's time where Craig and I discuss what we've been watching, which he doesn't have anything in here.
I didn't really have much. Most of my shows were starting to finish up, so I got to move on. Actually, take that back. I was watching. I have not too deep into it yet, but Daredevil season 2 is on.
Okay.
Born Again. Daredevil Born Again season 2 is on Disney Plus, and I need to go continue on with that. But yeah, I started watching it a little bit.
I got to get into that one. Yep.
The Netflix versions I thought were great, so I'm enjoying the Disney Plus one.
I did not make it through the James Bond sequence of 512 films before they were pulled from Netflix on April 20th. I got up to A View to a Kill, and I was exhausted.
Yeah.
The older James Bond will wear you out, and I wasn't up to Christopher Walken and Grace Jones.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, I think that was the second James Bond I saw in the theater. I think the first one was Moonraker. But that one, I think that's the one I've seen the most. So I was the least interested in watching it. And I just kind of lost it. I went, oh, they're pulling them all tomorrow. Oh, darn.
Yeah.
But I did go back into my Mission Impossible series since I watched 1, 2, and 3 already. I picked up on Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation on on Paramount Plus.
Yes.
And those are still holding up pretty well. I am enjoying that. I think I've got one more before I get back to the last 2. I think there's 3 more movies, and I'm not going to watch the last 2 again. what was it? It was kind of like the last two of um, the oh, mental blank, old man syndrome. Anyway, moving on. A few. Donna and I also started watching Top of the Lake on Hulu.
Series?
Which, yeah, it's a series. It's about 12, 13 years old, I want to say, from 2012, 2013. Holly Hunter plays a part in it, but I won't say she's a major character.
Right.
It's about a detective that kind of goes home to her parents she's from Australia. She goes to New Zealand to visit her mom, and a 12-year-old girl is discovered that she's pregnant, and she's a detective. So the visitor lady is a detective from Australia, and the small town New Zealand police department is really ineffective, really misogynistic, and you find out later in the series that she was also at 15, she was raped as well. So there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. In the first episode or two, that kind of slowed down. We're up to about episode 5. And I'm like, oh, come on, get moving again. Get moving again. So
I hate it when they have some, it kind of in the middle, it stretches out a little bit and then it.
Yeah. So Top of the Lake on Hulu. Also throwing in a few YouTube channels that I added to my subscription this week. One is called Our Own Devices. And this guy went through the Zenith Space Commander remote. We've talked about that a number of times on this show.
Yeah.
The whole evolution of Zenith as a company, how it worked. I mean, he went into the nerdy frequencies and why they selected the materials they did for those rods and wavelengths and resonant frequencies. I'm like, holy cow.
Wow.
And he even said, pardon me for that nerdy sidebar, but I had to do that because it was really impressive doing the research for this video.
Right.
Another one is called Get.History, which I've been enjoying. I love these history channels, and to prove it, there's another one called The History Lounge that I've added. So I think YouTube is locked on to my 4 or 5 basic interests, and I'm finding new content in my main feed and go, oh, that looks interesting. And
you customize the algorithm.
Yep. I have fine-tuned it. Either that or they fine-tuned it and they got a lot better.
Yeah.
But some stuff is, I will say that there was one that said, take a look at the history of Las Vegas from 1930 to 1940. And it was so AI generated. The guy even said, I mean, the host is AI generated with an AI voiceover. And he says, I've used AI to rebuild some of this stuff. And of course, you can tell when people are flying into the airport and the sign says, welcome convention attendees. And then you look at the sign in the background, it says,
Everybody's got 5 fingers.
No, it's not that bad.
6 fingers.
But I watched 1930 to 1940, and then I watched 1960 to 1980. So there's some of the changes that Vegas changed quickly. Yeah, it's
Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There was a time when the Strip actually isn't in Las Vegas. Consider that it's in Clark County, outside the city limits.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't.
Yeah, and they started building these little like restaurants before gambling was possible. Those little restaurants and places where people could go and see somebody singing on a small stage. This was way out of town. Think about how if you had to walk or drive, your old Model A or whatever it was from, even the MGM Grand up to Fremont Street, that would be a heck of a truck. And people are going, why would we leave the small city, to go out to this little club? Well, then they started building Boulder Dam, later named Hoover Dam. And there was specifically no gambling and no drinking in that city for the construction workers. So they go, all right, hop in the truck. We're going to drive a half hour and go.
This is why we're going to that small city.
Yeah. And then we'll hit those clubs that are outside that small city.
Yeah.
So interesting setup.
Hmm.
Well, that takes it to the end of our list. We're done a little early tonight. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to us, I
Thanks for
guess.
sticking with us.
Yes, and thank you for watching on YouTube and Facebook. You can find us weekly Sunday nights at 8:30. Although I did mention earlier that we are going to be taking a bit of a break in May. We'll let you know. Keep your eye on the calendar, chuckchat.com/calendar if you want to do that. It is a subscribable Google Calendar you can add to your own if you want to see when shows are. I'm
Or
trying to keep it up
pop
to
up in the
date when
Discord
they are, when they're not. How about what?
Pop in the Discord and
In the
sign up.
Discord, chuckchat.com/Discord. Lively discussion over there. Lots of things going in and out of the virtual fridge that you would not possibly be able to imagine.
Yeah, like that cat rat thing that we had.
No, that didn't go into the fridge. Don't give Steve and Sylvain ideas.
Put all those creatures into the fridge.
We do have the option to reject requests of things that go in the fridge.
Mystery meat. No,
You can suggest. I think mystery meat's already in there. There's something in a
probably.
Tupperware container that's brown.
Uh,
Yeah. There's a bag of lettuce that's mostly liquid.
I think it's time to defrost the thing.
There's an almost empty bottle of ketchup.
Yeah.
There's a few things that keep coming up that make me smile every time I see them. So a lot of fun. Plus, there's also discussions on projects people are working on, which I will discuss in the Patreon show, one of mine.
Okay.
And there is, of course, a patrons only channel. That and much, much more if you choose to be part of that. So get yourself a Discord app, or you can just use the web client. Let's see. What were we talking about this week? Oh, my thoughts on the Kindle app in 2026
All right.
and what I've been working on this past week. So I'm going to leave that up to you as a mystery topic for the patrons to listen to on Monday, the 27th.
Yep.
So they will get that before they get the regular show. So this all comes out of order. You might be listening to this and go, I already heard this. I already heard this. Spoiler alert.
All right. What's
Hey,
our
let's-
question of the week?
Let's play the music and get
Wait,
out of here.
stop.
What?
Question of the week.
Question of the week. If you had a working transporter, like from Star Trek, what is the single most anticlimactic place you would use it to beam to?
The bathroom.
Yeah, I was gonna say the kitchen. The garage. I went from outside the garage to inside the garage.
Computer, beam me into the car.
Site to site transport. I beam from here to 3 feet away.
Yeah, just
Clear abuse of technology.
I need a beer. Go to the other side of the room to get out of the fridge. That's right.
You do that just to see if the motion tracking camera can find you again.
Yeah. That's right.
All right. Most anticlimactic place you would use to beam to. I'm sure our listeners will have all kinds of fun with that.
Well, look at all the billions of dollars and technology we poured in the internet. And now we got AI that just creates some stupid
Cat videos. Cat videos. That's all I'm going to say. Let's get on out of here.
Yeah.
We appreciate you giving us your time. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for all the research, Craig, for the articles you contribute. Thank you to those who answered our question of the week, and we hope that you, dear listener, viewer, are among one of them this coming week. We will have that on the Discord server in the question of the week for episode 806, or we'll put it on social media, so check it out there. If you want to get in touch with us any other time or for any other reason, you can email us, technorama@chuckchat.com, or phone us, +1 707-530-2428. I'm going to put that to music one of these days so we have a jingle that you can remember.
Ching, ching.
Like Earl Scheib or
Yeah.
selling carpet.
And again, don't forget the Discord. Chuck did a good
Discord.
job selling it. Yep.
chuckchat.com/discord. Birthday calendar. chuckchat.com/birthday. Blah, 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 blah. We should have a link of links.
We do have.
Anyway, give us a binary high five. The music ran out.
All right. 101.
Well-earled machine.
That's right.
Did we not get any more comments throughout the whole show?
No, just say, what is that? I think they were talking about rat cat thing.
Okay.
Hey, I like the pop out window for StreamYard. That's great.
That is pretty cool. We'll have to watch for that. If we had more people chatting, that would be incredible.
Well, sometimes I'm on the banner thing.
Yeah.
And then I don't see
That's
the chat,
true. Yeah. Yeah. If you're
Right.
now you can run the banners more effectively.
and I'm just got to float in another window over here.
They're getting more Zoom like every day. Okay, we are going to sign out of the video and run right over to next door to the other studio that looks just like this one, but you won't
Yeah,
see
we're going to
the camera
transport over to it.
'cause right, the Patreon studio is just right over here.
Right.
It's an exact replica, and it's audio only, so we don't even need to go there. So till then, take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.